One after the other, an unending saga of fabricated thoughts and borrowed ideas, we are born into a stream already flowing. Before we even know how to walk, we are handed beliefs, customs, rules, roles, and we wear them like clothes we never chose. This is who you are, they say. This is what life is. We nod, we smile, and we begin the dance, rehearsed, repeated, rewarded. Years passed, decades even, and I was drugged. Not by substances, no, something more potent. The social version of life. A carefully edited script of expectations and appearances. I inhaled it every day, through school lessons that prized conformity over curiosity, through advertisements that told me what to desire, through praise that came only when I colored within the lines. I was told to dream, but only within the boundaries of what was respectable. Be a good student, get a good job, marry, buy, save, grow, retire. I did it all. I performed the roles with precision, and for a time I even believed I was happy, because everyone else clapped when I said the right lines. I mistook their applause for truth. But something deep within me, quiet yet persistent, kept tugging at the hem of my soul. A voice, barely audible at first, whispering, "Is this yours? These dreams, these beliefs, did they arise from your own observation, or are you merely recycling the inherited?" And I ignored it, again and again, because it's dangerous to question when everything you've built stands on untested ground. It's terrifying to peel back the layers and find nothing solid underneath. But lies have a way of cracking over time. The performance starts to feel heavy, the smiles become strained, the applause grows hollow. Society celebrates what the majority accepts, not necessarily what is real. Truth in this world is a consensus, a popular vote dressed in tradition and trend, and I was its loyal citizen. I didn't ask, I didn't challenge. I confused agreement with understanding, routine with purpose. I called it life. But now I see it was merely a simulation. We behave like well-programmed machines. We are trained, rewarded for obedience, punished for deviation. We memorize the script, we act it out, and we are told this is freedom. But it is not. It is an elaborate performance of captivity. A ritual of repetition designed to keep the gears turning smoothly. From the education system that churns out identical outputs, to careers that commodify the soul, to relationships bound by scripts of tradition rather than truth, this is not life. It is theater. And we play these roles with such passion, such conviction. But what happens when the role no longer fits? When the lines feel foreign in your mouth? You feel guilt. You feel shame. Because society does not know how to handle the one who stops clapping, who walks off stage. Is this not robotic? You wake, work, sleep. Efficient, productive, repeatable. But where is the wonder? Where is the spark of the child who once asked, "Why is the sky blue?" Not to pass an exam, but because it mattered to know. That child, buried under decades of adult performance, still whispers, still remembers, still wants to feel life, not just survive it. But there is a way out, and it is not rebellion, not destruction, it is inquiry. Honest, inconvenient, unrelenting inquiry. The kind that strips away comfort and exposes you to the raw wind of truth. It is not glamorous, it is not safe, but it is alive. True freedom begins when you stop, when you observe, when you ask, "What is mine?" You begin to see the difference between knowing and believing, between living and existing. You begin to notice the subtle manipulations, the way society teaches you to need, to compare, to chase shadows. I began to unlearn, slowly, painfully. I began to see that most of what I thought was me was just programming. My opinions, preferences, ambitions handed down like heirlooms. I began to strip away, and in that stripping I found silence, stillness, and eventually a faint flicker of something real. Not a truth shouted from rooftops, not a belief I could wear like a badge, but a direct seeing, a fresh awareness, like watching a sunrise for the first time, not because someone told me it was beautiful, but because I could see it. Without that spark, we are just elegant machines, celebrating illusions and calling them truth. But with it, with that living awareness, even a single breath becomes a miracle. Even silence speaks volumes. So now, I do not claim to know the truth, but I know what is not mine, and that is enough for now. I am no longer playing a part. I am listening, watching, feeling. For the first time I am alive, not performing, not pretending, just alive. And in that aliveness I begin again, not as a product of the world, but as its participant, not repeating what was given, but discovering what was hidden. And that is the beginning of a different kind of truth.